Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Random Noobs. It's been a very long time since I had last recorded. Last episode I recorded was with my friend Lewis. But let's get into it, right? Is social media losing the hype or losing the sociability of it, losing its zing? Is it dying out? Can I even say that word without being censored? Dying? Or is it unalive? You know, some of the problems that we face with social media nowadays is just that you can't say whatever you want to say. Granted, we do have the freedom of speech in America. In other countries, we do not. So they have their own laws they have to pay attention to. But in America, we should have the freedom of speech to say what we want. Granted, there are certain things that are under the content moderation, right? Which is understandable. But, I remember social media back then being a place that you just share with your friends your day to day things you ate. Um, hey, this is a very nice photo I took. Let me share it with everybody. Oh, I went to visit here and there. Now, social media feels like the place where you have to boost your ego. It feels like the place that I need to make a business out of it. I need to be proper. I need to be in line. Or if not, my account might get banned. It's, dare I say it, might be a social credit system in a way. Because your social media account is so tethered to your own personal beliefs that people think that is you. Granted, you might be feeling that in one day and then the next you might not. So a lot of people, they don't share things that they really want to say, or they just toe the line. And lately, from all the social medias, from the Instagram, TikToks, no. Let me rephrase myself. The Twitter, the Reddit, the Blue Sky, and I think YouTube, right? TikTok is a different animal, in my opinion. Most of them have like some type of content moderation. You can't really say what you want or question the narrative without risking you losing your account or risk putting yourself in a different algorithm that each platform has considered you to be a place, you to be considered an account that should not be shared, right? And I understand that, right? Because these social media accounts, they are not technically free. Somebody has to pay for the electricity, somebody got to pay for the server costs, the space, and the hosting, and all the programmers and people on staff just to make sure, like, oh, this platform went down. Let's fix it and see what's happening, right? Which why ads came into the picture, and ads being ads, they're a company and they don't want their content being shared with somebody who's sharing something that's controversial. Understandable. But that's not what us Americans fought for, right? We fought for free speech. In the realm of being morally right, just a conversation. Like, if you're talking with your best friend or you're in Thanksgiving, you really wouldn't say anything that is too controversial in the sense that we might start a fight or people might be looking at you differently. But you would be questioning things, right? Just a regular conversation. And I think that's what people want when it comes to the social media aspect. You want to be able to share your content, share what you like, and also have a good engagement rate, right? But it seems like with most of the social media platforms, and I'm going to go down them, you do one bad thing, and for the rest of your account, you're put in a bubble. And that bubble defines how people view your profile and your content moving forward, right? Not necessarily that's always a problem. I'm sure that the more you post in a different direction, it changes the algorithm. But just some things that I have noticed, that's what it feels like, right? So let's go down all all the different social media accounts. Which one is good, which one's bad, and which one I think is king. Personally, I have a number one king out of all of them, but we'll get to that, right? I mean, if you want to just listen to it, it's Reddit. But if you want to stay by and listen to the whole thing, we'll get down to it, right? Like, I think TikTok might be second, and I think YouTube might be third, but he could also take over as number one. But let's go down, right? So on Instagram is pretty cool and all, right? But the problem with Instagram, it became a place of just influencers sharing their new business venture or their investment plans, right? It's all about how can I keep you engaged? How can I use my traffic here and tunnel you to something else? May that be an email list, a newsletter. May that be this course sign up for. Like, I mean, I don't know. I do know people buy things off of Instagram shop, but it's not really a common thing, right? And when you do post on Instagram, unless you already at that level, you're not gonna get a good type of engagement, no matter with hashtags or whatever. Before, Instagram used to be a place that you could share a photo, and that's what it was. It was a photo sharing app. It became a video app. Then it became a reels, a video in the sense of like YouTube. Because if people don't remember, Instagram used to have a feature called IGTV, which was trying to be a competitor to YouTube in a sense. You can share videos up to 10 minutes long. It will change your device to landscape mode so you can kind of view it sideways. That never took off. It just failed, right? Then when Snapchat came through, well, Instagram wanted to buy Snapchat, and then Snapchat said, "Nah, I'm good," or Meta, excuse me. But what did they do? They stole their idea. The same 24-hour stories that disappear, that's exactly what Instagram did. And now everyone uses that. And I mean, Snapchat is still around, but people do use that, right? TikTok came into the picture. I doubt Instagram was going to try to buy TikTok, a Chinese company, but they saw a whole bunch of traffic going over there. And what did they do? They copied that with Reels, little short form videos, right? And it has taken over. Granted, a lot of things that Instagram has done, they implemented somewhat well, or at least to the point that because everybody is on that platform, it's the only one they're going to use. So you can technically call it a success. And like another example would be when Instagram tried to copy Twitter with Threads. They called it a success, but there's a lot of asterisks to it. One of the asterisks is that just by having an Instagram account, you already had a Threads account. You just press a button and automatically transferred your data to a Threads account. That's not the same thing. With the other platforms like Twitter, you actually have to go over there and create a platform. I mean, you have to go over there and create an account. But on Instagram, you just have to transfer your data over. So it wasn't like, oh, we're having 3 million new people join our platform on Threads. No, people just clicked 2 buttons and it went through. And then what happened? It was very bare bones when it came out. Nobody really liked to use it, and they just went back to Twitter. The reason why people like Twitter so much is because it has the most up-to-date information with what's going on in the world. It was the place where you go to see what's trending. I mean, that's the trending stuff comes from there, honestly. Not saying that Twitter is the greatest platform for the up-to-date stuff, but it's the one that's most prevalent right now. And I can also see Blue Sky taking over in a sense. Now, this is something I do want to talk about when it comes to the different platforms, right? Each one of them has their use case. Each one of them has their use case. But the thing that I'm not a fan of is the way they implement the algorithm and the way engagement happens in each one of them. I'm going to show you some examples, right? So if you're just listening to this, just check the video out of it. If not, just hear my voice. So here's an example. So on Twitter, I have the Random Noobs account here, right? Been testing out things here and there. Just really trying to figure out my bearings before moving forward, right? Of like what platform to be on and how to share. So, right, if you can see here, I just put Don talking about Don, like season 1 ended here, just talking about the manga panel. And I posted something with Don, right? I got 12, I guess you could say views. I mean, views, that's what they call it here. which really means like window shopping. Like people just saw it and just kept moving forward, right? I did another one with a hashtag went up to 52. I don't know what time. Maybe time and date can also matter. And I did another one talking about The Way of the King with Brandon Sanderson. Now, those who are in the book community, they know that this book is immensely popular. They just dropped the 5th book, and it's a very popular book, right? So I'm thinking that the hashtags of each one of these things should at least bring in more than the 12 that you see here, right? So with Twitter, it's like the algorithm consistently changes. And something that was, I think, when I posted this was before the algorithm changed again, but Juan Soto, right? He became a Met, signed for 15 years, 600 and some mil, something like that. Anyway, I posted it. There's a lot of keywords here in the text that should technically boost it. You should see like Juan Soto, that's the trending word, Yankees at the moment, Mets, and also New York Mets, right? I got 55 views there. I got 3 likes and 2 retweets. Or 1 retweet. I retweeted it myself. But that's really small. Now, keep that in mind, right? But there's another video I posted. Oh, here's another one, right? I posted one about my top 5 WWE belts, right? I did 2-part videos, both of them, and I put them in the community of the WWE community within Twitter. So it's kind of like Reddit with its own subreddits. I did the same thing for Twitter. 17 engagements, right? It's not like I did anything that's controversial, cursing, or anything of that nature. No. It just didn't really pop. Now, the same video of my top 5 WWE belts on my TikTok page, I actually have gotten, I think part 1, 340 views.
Starting at number 5.
Sorry about that. 340 views. All right, let's lower this volume right here for those listening. 340 views with 23 likes, and for, oh my Lord, sorry about that, people. I hope you guys won't hear that. But for part 2, I got 51 likes, 2 comments, and 943 views. Do you see the difference in discrepancy here? Like on TikTok, I have only 100, and at the time I had 160. Well, right now I have 164 followers. On Twitter, I have 10, granted, right? But because I'm posting on TikTok, more people are viewing it. Do you see the discrepancy here? That on TikTok, I'm actually getting a good amount of views, even though I don't have that many followers. It's because the algorithm works on TikTok. On Twitter, it does not. If you do not have a blue check mark, if you do not pay to Elon, you're not going to get any type of engagement. And even if you do pay, because at one point I did pay, you're still not going to get the engagement. This is something that has been well known with a lot of different people on Twitter who have actually looked at the code and said, Elon is doing everything in his nature just to boost the accounts that he wants to boost and nobody else. If you're a grifter for Elon, you're going to get boosted. If you're not, you're going to be posting into the abyss. I know I was harking before that, Elon being on Twitter is going to be a great place for free speech. You know, the code is going to be open source. That was 2 years ago. Nothing realistically has changed for the better since he's been there, besides the people that already have a big platform and are with him at this point, right? But there's also the caveat to it, because if you say something against Elon or you talk about the code, you get demonetized. You lose your blue check mark. If you say something, you could even, it's crazy because some people curse in a very derogatory sense of like being racist, and their account is okay. Granted, I don't really care about all those things. I care about how can I grow my platform to reach the masses and really just share my content with other people and grow my account. On Twitter, that does not work. So I moved on to TikTok, right? And I also shared the same thing in all three different platforms, right? The WWE, my top 5 video belt. Check it out, by the way. It will be linked in the description. Shameless plug. But I did on Instagram as well. And it was a bit better, but it wasn't great, right? I got, let me see, 246 views on one of them. And the other one, I got 152, which is not necessarily bad, right? It's better than most. But the thing that differentiates Instagram from TikTok is that TikTok people actually liked and they commented back. Like the community feels 10 times better on TikTok. And this has not been more prevalent than when I see my best friend John being on his lives, right? He's made friends on live. He has a very good, consistent amount of people who visit his lives. But I remember his rise to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and he was actually like people were coming. They clicked the follow button and they just stood there. It was all nothing. It was everything but. Excuse me. It was all of just good vibes. And like it really opened my eye to TikTok. And I was wondering, like, why is it that the government is trying to get rid of TikTok? And I think the reason why they want to get rid of TikTok is because they can't control the algorithm. They can't control the content that's being shared. That there is some type of content moderation, which is, like I said before, understandable if you're talking about things as graphic in nature, talking about nudity or things that we just do not want to share, right? That we do not want to see. And I understand all those things, but when you're sharing things of things you love, like let's use an example of my TikTok page, right? I've been sharing pictures. Crazy is pictures as well, right? So when I shared the WWE videos, I got near 1,000 on one. I got near 400 another one. I shared one of my favorite panels of a one piece of Zorro coming in. If you can see it right here. His introductory into Wano, right? I got 22 likes. I got a comment, and even somebody saved it, right? They really enjoyed it. But I got 329 views. Granted, you shouldn't really be looking at views, but I'm a person who likes to view analytics. I'm a person who likes to see all these things and conceptualize it and just see moving forward, whatever, right? Here's another one. Exactly what I was mentioning on TikTok, on Twitter, as you can see here with this post. I'm sharing right here. I wrote, I have begun the way of the king. I have begun hashtag the way of the king by hashtag Brandon Sanderson. As I told you before, I was trying to utilize the hashtags on Twitter. I was instantly hooked after this line. Seth Sun Villano, truthless of Shinovar, were white on the day he was to kill a king. And it was the first use of Stormlight during Seth's battle with the soldier, in quotations. And then I ended off with a hashtag Stormlight Archives. Now, this book is massively popular. The 5th book just came out. This dude is, if you're into books, you already know who I'm talking about, right? If you're not, check him out. It's honestly a very amazing, epic fantasy book. I actually bought the book. I'll show you in a second. But I posted that same picture. I just took a screenshot and I shared it on TikTok. I got 4,000 views on it, near 4,200. I've also gotten 191 likes and 2 people saved it. But it was, the moment I posted, it was just a constant barrage of just likes. And it showed me something. Even with pictures on TikTok, the community there, especially the book talk, hashtag book talk on TikTok, is vibrant. It's very, I don't know how to say it, like, the community is there. I shared the same thing on Blue Sky. I'm not going to show that atrocity, but it was like 5 likes. I'm not saying I should be looking for likes and stuff like that, but you want to be on a platform that you have a sense of community that you share things and you people respond to you back. I mean, that is what social media is for. It's in the word social, being sociable. Media is just a platform sharing either videos, pictures, lives, whatever you want, but that's the media part, right? And if you're taking away the social part of it by just adding ads and adding a sense of, oh, we have to toe this line, we have to be professional, we have to do this things just to gain likes and engagement, you're really taking away the fun out of social media and just the fun of connecting, right? And look, the same thing I was talking about before with Juan Soto joining the Mets. If you're a Yankee fan, I feel sorry for you. I'll put an Amber Alert out for you. But I posted the same thing, the same picture as you see here on Twitter. I posted it on TikTok, and I got 5,000 views. I got 36 likes and 18 comments. But people are talking, Nobody was disrespectful. Some people might be mad because the player left their team. Granted, it's just sports, we're just talking. But it was a sense of a community, right? I tried to put the same thing on Twitter. I even put it on, like I said, on the Mets community page, and nothing. On Instagram, I got 6 likes. It was like lackluster. Now, I just want to say, like I mentioned before, you want a sense of social media to be a sense of sociability. You want to have a community, and seeing my friends, my previous co-host on this, Anthony, seeing him on his lives on TikTok, seeing the amount of people just joining and just sharing and just being, part of the journey. It's nice to see, honestly. And I think the thing that separates all these different platforms, whether that may be Blue Sky, Twitter, or Instagram or other ones, is the algorithm. TikTok has this weird algorithm that it just shares whatever is working. Like, if people like it, they gonna see it. Like, there's not really much of a content moderation unless you like being cursing and stuff like that, which I understand. But no one is really doing some type of content moderation, right? Now, I did mention Blue Sky, and I'll preface this real quick. I opened the Blue Sky account. I tried it out. In the beginning, the engagement was pretty good, at least in the IT community. But the problem is that so many people from there left Twitter because they were tired of Elon's ranting and Elon's decisions of all the things, right? Because Twitter became what they want to call it, alt-right or conservative or MAGA right, Especially after his endorsement of Trump. So everybody went to Blue Sky. They thought it would be the left-wing Twitter. The problem is they don't know how to stop talking about politics over there. And that's all they're doing. So it really destroys any type of engagement you might feel over there. I even looked up a lot of the technology behind it. It was pretty cool. I actually like the way that they do their algorithm. You can technically create your own algorithm. There is no one central algorithm. There is no one central algorithm. There is no one central algorithm over there. And what that means is, like, on that account, you can actually you can create your own algorithm. You can follow this person, that person, and you can create your own list. As you can see here, you have your home. It's typical. You have your home, your search, notifications, chat, lists, profile, whatever, right? They have this thing on the feeds account that you click on it, right? And let's see, like right here, mutuals. You will only see things from posts from users who are following you back. You click that. As you can see, I'm clicking right now. Go to my home account, and I see right here, mutuals. This is an algorithm. This is my feed. This is the feed of me only seeing only seeing things that other people I follow share, right? Let's try another one. Let's see. We have astronomy, right? Here's the description. I should have chosen something that doesn't make me sound stupid. But astronomy posts from astronomers. Any astronomer can post here by signing up via bot, whatever, whatever, right? So if you want to see a preview of what is inside this feed or this algorithm, you click it and you see. It's everybody sharing things about astronomy, right? And you can, it kind of like, it kind of filters out certain things through hashtags, right? And it makes it easier for you to find it. Like another thing is like One Piece, right? So if I go to One Piece manga, anybody who put the hashtag One Piece manga or anything similar to that, it will pop up here. And the moment I click it, I go to my feed and I can see these things. You can also even create your own custom feed. But that's a lot of work for most of the people, right? And who's going to really sit here and do all that stuff? If you want to, sure. But people don't want to do all that extra stuff, right? They just want to go on their account and just scroll, I guess. Not many people are really tech savvy in that nature. So Blue Sky's approach to the algorithm was pretty cool. But at the same time, there's a lot of people over there that don't like certain things that you might say if you are being controversial, just questioning things. And they will ban you. I mean, they only have like 30 moderators over there, and the smallest thing could get you banned. So Blue Sky is pretty cool and all, but I don't see it being the grandest thing. Now, for me, if I had to go online, like I said before, my top social media platform that I would prefer would be Reddit. The reason why I like Reddit is because it's a great place, at least for me, in the IT community. There's things that I want to look up, and there's a lot of people there who are asking the same question, or they already answered the question, or they will help you through it. So, if you have like a synology, you have a question about certain protocols or certain security measures, there's somebody that'll help you, or somebody already answered the question. If you're trying to set up a self-hosting through Docker, they have things to help you there. They even have links. They have a wiki, like their own wiki. And that's what I like it for. There's also other things that, make you laugh. You have cat videos if you're into that stuff, or what's trending. But if you fine tune your algorithm to the things that you like and enjoy, pretty good for those things. And that's why I like it. Anytime I want to research something, I go there, and 8 out of 10 times, I'm going to find the answer. And if I'm not, I'm going to ask the question, and somebody there is going to help me through it. And it always happened. And even in something of local, it works just as well. And that's why I prefer Reddit out of all of them. If you were to ask me today, out of all the social media accounts, which one you prefer, I would say Reddit. YouTube would be second. YouTube is such a treasure trove of information that we cannot discourage. It's very educational when you are looking for the things you need to look for. If you're just doom scrolling or just using it as something in the background, yeah, it's going to be like everything else. But YouTube is really, really powerful. I think those two are like the best, Reddit and YouTube. Now, there's one social media platform that I have not mentioned and is actually rising up in the ranks. It's called Nostra, right? And this is something that Jack Dorsey, the ex-CEO of Twitter, has been pushing, endorsing, even Edward Snowden. And the thing that I like about Nostra, it's a little technical right now, but it just started in 2020. So you got to give it time to really fine tune its kinks and really make it approachable for the non-techie people, right? But what I like about it is that for now, it's a decentralized platform to share messaging, right? May that be text, videos, links, etc. But it's not a platform. It's a protocol. And what I mean protocol, it's just something that, we use protocols every day. When you are texting somebody through iMessage, that's end-to-end encrypted. It's a protocol. WhatsApp, same thing. Or E to E, end-to-end encryption. Or E to EEE, two E's at the end. FaceTiming, or just sending it, just Emails, that's another protocol. We use protocols all the time. This one is different because it's based off the Bitcoin blockchain in the sense of that everybody technically has a copy of information that's being shared. So therefore, nothing can be removed or taken away or dropped down by an algorithm from a company or the state or whatever. An example, right? With Twitter. If I shared something and Elon does not like that, let's say hypothetically Elon sees my account, like, oh yeah, I noticed you, right? And he doesn't like it, he could just press the delete button. On the Nostra protocol, he can't, right? And the reason why I can't delete it is because there's many different people who has a copy of that information. The reason why this Nostra protocol is pretty cool is because instead of like one person owning the company, or let's call it a notebook for now, a lot of people own the notebook, or what is really called nodes, and they have a copy of it. This makes it harder for you to tamper with it or to delete it because you will have to do it on everybody who has a copy of it. So yeah, you may go after one person, but that other person having that other person, and we're talking about thousands of people. So it's very hard for one platform, one person, one entity to try to delete the data. And the good thing is that you can take that data with you anywhere you go. Nostra is just a protocol. But Nostra can be used with different clients or platforms, which is like Damus on the iOS, Amethyst on Android, and there's a lot of different platforms. The idea of why it's so cool is because nobody can delete your stuff. You can share what you got to say. There's a community there, and you can get paid for that. You can actually get paid with microtransactions on content that you post. Let's say hypothetically you post the best type of tweet ever. I'm trying to be very simple with it because Nostra is a lot. It's very complex and it's still in the learning process and it's still growing. But for now, you can post like a banger a banger post. Let's say 100 people will like your stuff. Instead of you getting a like, which at the end of the day doesn't really mean any monetary value, they can send you zaps. What zap is just another word of sending you a Bitcoin. Whatever they prefer to send you, of course, but they send it through Bitcoin. It could be, and remember, one Bitcoin can be broken up into many different pieces. Just because a Bitcoin today is around 100,000, you can still buy it for $1, $5. It's just in fractions. But on this platform with Nostra, using as a protocol and other things, somebody could like your stuff and send you that as a tip. At the same time, like, it's a beautiful way of you getting paid for the information you posting out there, and the person who's sending you the information, sending you the money, can either send it to you anonymously, they could be public, or they could send it to you like someone like a DM. I think it's probably the next best movement we have now for a social media platform. It's still early. We're still trying to find the engagement for it, but I think that might be the next best thing. Or since it's a protocol, people can use that and implement that into, let's say, TikTok. They could implement that into TikTok and the other ones, but they have to make their code open source, right? That's like the only way to do it. But I think it's the future for now. Let's see what happens in 2 years, in 5 years. There might be a different platform, whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it's something very exciting and it's something to not ignore. With that being said, I think I went too long. I'm here rambling, I believe. I just really want to talk about this because I use a lot of different social medias and it really bothered me to the point of like, we're just using social media in the sense of just scrolling. There's no purpose behind it. I don't even use it anymore. Like, you watch a video, you save it or you share it, and then that's it. Do you learn anything out from it? Do you get any type of engagement out of it? Most of the social medias out there, I could definitely speak for Twitter, is just something that incites violence or rage or anger. It's nothing positive. Twitter, I can see that being positive. Reddit, I can also see it being positive, depending. Blue Sky, it depends on how you're posting. But yeah. If you want to know my rankings at the end of the day, the best social medias out there will be TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, in that order. I think that would be Twitter's all in the bottom. I used to be so hard, like I used to be a big fan of Twitter, but after Elon kept implementing new algorithm changes and the whole thing about that you need to pay for a blue check just to get noticed, just to be able to post, just to be able to do any of these things. It just, I'm not gonna be paying somebody just to post things. It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna do that. It makes no sense. There's so many different platforms that's coming out every different day, and I do understand that if something's free, then you're the person that they're getting money off of. But we're not paying for this stuff, especially that you pay and you still get downvoted or the algorithm is still against you. It's just not right there. So moving forward, I will be posting on YouTube and TikTok. Everything else, I do not care. I am not trying to do those anymore because it's a waste of time. Besides Instagram stories, the people that's still there. But besides that, this is the Random Noobs. I really appreciate if you listen to my last call. Yeah, please let me know if you have any comments, concerns. This will be posted on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And Spotify, I think there's going to be a comment section in the bottom. I think also Apple does it as well. YouTube is going to be on YouTube as well. But thank you. And it's been a while. Peace.